Hello and welcome to How Mundane, the least interesting place on the internet. Today, I want to chat a little bit about the future of the channel while opening up some modestly sketchy looking Genshin Impact card boxes, which I got as part of a much larger lot. And honestly, I'm not 100% sure that they're going to be what they're supposed to be because, well, let's see if you can hear this. The noise that it makes when you shake it sounds a little weird. So, I don't know about you, but I didn't even know they made Genshin Impact Cards. And I did used to play the game at one point. And at least one of my kids used to play the game quite a bit. The other one did maybe a little. Oh, well. Maybe these were just a... I don't know, there's a little tiny spear in the box. So that was what was making the weird noise. Anyway, didn't even realize there actually was a Genshin Impact game, and these just came as part of a much larger set. And I have found very little information about these cards online. So I'm just gonna open them and see what we end up finding in here. And it would appear they are all in, I think it's simplified Chinese. It may be Japanese. So it would appear each pack, you're getting 3 kind of standard cards of, gosh, can you see the scratching on that? Questionable quality. And then 1 fancier card? I got no idea, y'all. There's a weapon. Yeah, they are heavily scratched out of the package, if you can see that. See if the tag actually shares any. It says booster pack for anime fans. So, given I can't read anything on any of these cards, I have no idea how this game works. And I've been able to find very little information about it online. But it does look like at least the these fancier cards. Oh, there's like a food card. The fancier cards in the pack seem to be the characters from the game. Ultimately, I could only stick with the whole gacha game for so long before the gacha kind of got me. And I said, okay, I think I've had enough. Was not the first gacha game I played either. I used to play quite a bit of Brave Frontier if my light decided to turn off again. Brave Frontier, if anybody remembers that mobile game. Also heavily gacha based. Anyway, what is wrong with this light today? So, the other thing I wanted to spend some time talking about is the future of the channel. And you may notice I took a good chunk of a week off last week. Just been kind of thinking about the content and what seems to be of interest and what kinds of things I want to do. And I gotta say, I've got some new things in the works, but that also means we're gonna pivot to a little less new card content. And I will say part of that is just because getting a hold of product at this point, it's brutal. And when you can't get a hold of new sets for anything even remotely approaching MSRP, it becomes a lot harder to justify buying those sets to then make the content. So, at least as it stands right now, I do have a fair amount of stuff in that infamous content backlog, and will continue to be editing and posting those things. But as far as new sets go, it's going to be a little touch and go, and we'll just have to see what I'm actually able to get a hold of, when and if I'm able to get a hold of those things, and go from there. You know, obviously we did a set with the booster box of the Mega Evolutions. Was able to get a hold of that. Thus far have not been able to get a hold of the booster box at MSRP for the next set. Have only been able to get a booster bundle, which would be a fairly short video. You know, for now, with the changes to Lorcana, I'm not sure if I'm even going to bother with the next set. I mean, obviously, I think it is no secret that I am a Disney fan. So if a set comes up that's got something really compelling from my own personal Disney fandom, say, for example, they decided to actually do some Disney park stuff in a future set, particularly the Haunted Mansion, I would be all over doing an opening of that for the channel, no question. But as far as what we will still continue to be doing, I will try and continue to do some ripping on the roads. I actually have some ideas around a bit of Disney Parks content that I don't want to spoil, but it will not just be, you know, me walking around Disney parks and taking videos like so many other people do. It's something that I haven't seen at least as much of out there on YouTube as a whole. So I'm hoping once I start getting some of those things together, that might be of interest to some folks. And the other thing I think we're going to try and do a little more of is actual travel type content from when we are in places that might be of interest, in part because we have at least one trip upcoming for next summer that we've been trying to find content about the place we're going, and there's just really not a whole lot. So I'm going to be taking this trusty camera that normally sits here on my little top-down rig and taking it out into the wild. But by the same token, I want this to be in line with kind of the overall tone and spirit of how I've done How Mundane. So I don't want this to be me trying to look like some kind of personal travel influencer. It will primarily be exploring things with then some voiceover content, explaining context and other things that may be involved, rather than, you know, I mean, let's be honest, I'm not an influencer, and I don't think anyone is here to look at me, which is part of why none of these videos have ever been me as a talking head type videos. That's just, I don't feel like that's what this is about. So this is a different set, and maybe even a different game, but I still can't really tell what's going on here. So I guess be looking out for some of those things. We do actually have a couple of interesting travel plans on the agenda. One of which is Disney related. We are going to be doing over the winter a cruise on the Disney Destiny, which is the newest ship in the fleet. Have never done a cruise before. Kind of interested to check it out. Will be one of the I guess, earlier sailings in its little life cycle, since it, I believe, launches in November, and that trip is in January. So that's on the horizon. And then the other destination, though I won't say specifically where we are headed, is in the Fijian Islands. And as I said, the particular place we are going, there has not been a lot of content posted. So thought we might take the opportunity to try and put together a short video about that destination for the channel. So if anybody knows anything about this card game or these card games, if it is 2 games, please post something in the comments, because, I mean, seriously, I have no idea. And I don't know that I would have gone out and sourced these independently. They just happen to be in a much larger lot of sealed products. And since I could find out so little about them online, and honestly could only find one of the boxes even for sale somewhere else, the other one, I had no idea what it is, where it came from. Didn't have any idea where to even begin to try and sell any of this stuff. Just decided it would be more interesting to open it up here and see if anybody else has got any idea what's going on here. Or maybe you're a Genshin fan and you just happen to love seeing all these characters on trading cards. It's very likely I will try and figure out somewhere to list some of these if you're interested in picking up some Genshin singles. I'm not sure where that will be yet. I don't even know if this set is in CollX or if people on CollX are looking for Genshin Impact cards, but that's a likely place that they could end up. Could also end up in our eBay store. That is where many things that don't end up fitting into the CollX world go, as CollX doesn't really do, for example, sealed products or other things. I looked on TCG Player, and this is not listed at all, so this is not something I could throw on there either. But yeah, it's hey, they're pretty cards. The one holographic card in each pack is actually of pretty reasonable quality, and unlike the other box, a bunch of these are not scratched. So I'm guessing that was some kind of manufacturing defect with that other box. I would assume that the large SR and R, etc. on these cards is referring to some kind of rarity. But again, without actually knowing for sure, I don't want to commit that is definitely, SR for super rare and R for rare. If that is the case, then it's interesting that every pack seems to have one SR and then a whole bunch of Rs. I'm not sure that I've seen anything else out of this set besides SR and R. The numbers at the bottom, and again, I don't know how well y'all can see this, but it is SR19 on this one, R10, so the SR and R does seem to then tie into the numbering system for that particular set. All right, what do we got left here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 more. This is a lot of the very familiar looking Genshin characters. It's been a couple of years since I have played. So, oh, here's an SLR. So their names are not exactly at the forefront of my attention. But I will say, if you are a gamer, 2025, it's been a pretty good year. I mean, just in the last couple of weeks, we finally got Silksong, the sequel to Hollow Knight. Here's another SLR. And we got the official full release out of early access for Hades 2. Those are definitely ones on my to play list, or I've started playing both of them at least a little. Got Ghosts of Yotai coming out next week. There's another SLR. There's the Persona 3 remake is coming. The Final Fantasy Tactics remake is coming. The re-release of Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 is coming. And of course, the big one at the end of the year that I am most excited about, Metroid Prime 4. I've been waiting for that one for seemingly forever. Another SLR. But yeah, it's a good time for gaming if you are a gamer. If not, you know, maybe think about getting into it. The other one that I've been having fun with, the latest really weird roguelike, Racoin, the coin pusher roguelike, kind of Balatro-ish. It's a lot of fun, plus it features a raccoon, so that's always a good time. All right, that's all of these Genshin cards, and I have rambled on for long enough. Thanks for being mundane with us. We'll see you next time. Bye.